In the previous tutorial, we created a road to connect Austin and Jocelyn roads. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how to replace the components of a road that has been built. So in this case, I can see that there is a big slope, or the steep slope rather, on the edge of this road. So it's probably not safe to have a sidewalk here. So I would like to replace this sidewalk with a barrier or a median uh, that will help keep the road safe for pedestrians. I'm going to use the left mouse button to click on the component road, which selects the whole new road that we built and connected to Austin. And you can see that hovering over this component road gives me the option to select individual components that make up this whole new road. So what I'm interested in here is to change this sidewalk. So I'm going to, while the component road is selected, I'm going to use the left mouse button to click on this. Now you can see the blue color that highlights my selection of an individual component of the road that has been built here. And it tells you that it is a generic shape because we have not named it with the exact component of what it is, since we tried to match Jocelyn and Austin of the cross section that they have to the new road that we built. So we have not defined what it is, so it's just going to say that it is a generic shape. It also shows the starting and ending of this, that it is 179 meters long. And the width is 1 meter, which is about 3.25 feet. And it tells you what the depth of the sidewalk is, which is 0.2 meters. And the outer depth is also 0.2 meters. Sometimes the depth on the inner side is more than that of the outer side when it is on a slope going the other way from the road. So this tells you that it's a flat slab that is a sidewalk. So what I want to do now is I want to change this to a different component. So with this selected and highlighted, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to select replace component. The replace component gives us the option of all the different parts that make a component. So in this case, I want to put a barrier. So I'm going to select the jersey barrier. You can scroll through this to see all the other different units that are here that you can select. I can also select a curb and gutter. I can select a footing, whatever it is that you want to replace this with. But in this case, I want to put a barrier. It's called a jersey barrier. So I'm going to select that and click OK. So now it has replaced the sidewalk with a jersey barrier. I'm going to click outside to unselect. And I'm going to zoom in here so you can see now that I have a jersey barrier that comes all the way to where the road slope is not steep and causing unsafe conditions, so that it cleanly wraps all along the new road and stops where it meets the existing road. I think this is Probasco, yes, and it stops there. Now let's also check what happens when we export this newly constructed road. I'm going to go back here to the utilities menu and I'm going to select export 3D model. And I'm going to use a BB box to export this section here. And I'm going to change the name because I have a previous file with the same name. I'm going to call this new road test. I'm going to keep the default settings and I'm going to export this. Now I'm going to open that new road file in Rhino. So as you can see here, there is the new road file that is FBX and the position file that tells it where it has to place the file in the program that you're going to open it. The texture mapping folder is not here yet, and I'm going to right click on this and say open with Rhino. And I'm going to say OK. And now you can see that the texture mapping folder is here with all the swatches of the texture that was mapped from InfraWorks into the FBX file. So when you want these textures to appear in Rhino, you want to copy all these folders, the new road test FBM folder, which is the film box mapping folder, the FBX file itself, and the positioning map, so that everything comes in onto your new program correctly. So I'm going to maximize Rhino here. Let's open the perspective tab. Oops. You can see here that the mesh of the new road has been incorporated into the old road. And if I open the previous file that was used for just exporting the map file, which is IMExport, I'm going to also open this in Rhino so that we can compare. Say OK. You can see here that this was the original landscape that was there, and this is the new landscape with the new roadway shown here. I'm going to turn on the perspective here to rendered so that I can see the texture mapping. Everything looks good, and what I created in InfraWorks is cleanly here in Rhino to show the new roadway that has been formed and the texture mapping also which has been formed with it. So that is how you export a new road along with the texture mapping into Rhino. So you can place your new building now here, which you're probably designing in Revit or Rhino itself. You can now create your new building or program for a park or anything architectural that you're doing. You can place that now here. You have a road that is cleanly shown as to where the traffic moves and so on and so forth. So this tutorial shows you how to do the component roads and export that. Oh, one more thing. Let's see here. I want to import from file. I want to import the other file which does not have any of the improvements to make sure that all these files are coming in the correct location. So let me select where it is. I'm going to open this file because this is the file. IMExport is the file that does not have the new roads. You can see it matched exactly where the new road constructed is, because the positioning file of both the original InfraWorks export and this file is in the same place. So you can see it matches tile to tile. Everything matches correctly. So I'm going to undo this, and this is your new file.